is where you get real medieval on this. Like I said before, since I didn't want to buy a $60 12-inch section of pipe, I'm making my own pipe. Cut this sucker out. It's got the angle in it that I need. Now I just need to wrap it up in a pipe. Now this is 3/16 plate. So it's not light stuff. It's not super easy to bend either. I mean, it's easy to bend if you're like doing control arms and stuff, but trying to get it to bend in a complete circle, it's a little more challenging. You want to be a lowrider, huh? You kind of want to be a blacksmith too. Now, some people get all offended when people use the term built, not bought. But I think I'm knocking on the door of being able to say that. Close. It's more oval than it is circle, but we'll work on it. So that needs to wrap around a little bit better. Let's do a little more work on it. So after about a half hour of beating on this thing, this is what we got. Fairly round. I really don't care how it looks. To me, standing back and looking at it, it looks a little oval off to this side, but I really don't care about that. I just care that the spring sits down in there. Now this is a snug fit. I mean, there's not much room. These are the coils that I'm going to be running in the front of the Impala. I mean, not this short, obviously, but a full stack of these coils. So is snug. They do go all the way through. That's a good fit. It's got a little wiggle room. I guess it is kind of it is what I thought it was. Kind of oblong on that side, but I'm gonna take it because it fits in there really well and it goes through. So there's my $60 piece of pipe. Yeah. So that's it for this one. Quick video on how I did my lowers. I really wasn't gonna get this intense with it until I started test fitting the springs in the other pocket, and then I realized that the factory spring pocket is not very big and you can't really put any decent springs on it. The springs I'm planning on using aren't even really super heavy springs, but heavier than the stock ones obviously, and the spring pockets just, they don't hold them. So had to open that up a little bit, make it a little wider, just a little bit. While I was at it, gave it a little bit more depth down there. I've seen this before on some other ones. I don't know if I've seen it a whole lot on Impala lowers, but hopefully that works out. It'll let me use a little bit more coil, not have to cut it down so much. Still need to make a little finish plate for the back side, but that won't have to be anything too heavy. I can use some lighter gauge steel instead of the 3/16. Something a little easier to bend in there. But that'll be another day. Yeah, pretty happy with the way it turned out. A lot of work, a lot of this getting all medieval, trying to make your own pipe is not an easy task. So I'm glad that part is over for now until it splits in half. I still haven't decided whether or not I'm gonna reinforce up here around the ball joint. I don't know if it's necessary really. I don't know. You could go so far with this stuff. There's got to be a stopping point. And a lot of people tell me that I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do this better, this stronger, thicker metal here. There's always going to be something better no matter what you're doing. So yeah, I have to know where my limits are for now. Like I've said in the past, this is my 6.4, okay? And this is definitely my dream car. Now I am not gonna let little things stop me from enjoying my dream car. So what I mean by that is I'm not gonna hold off until I can get a Ford 9-inch rear end. I'm not gonna put this whole project on hold until I can do that. I'm not gonna spend an extra 3 weeks on these arms to make them perfect and plated everywhere, and it's such a freaking work of art. I'm just not gonna do that. That's not something I want to do. on my car. I want this car to be as good as it can be with my resources currently and what I can afford to do, and still be able to get this thing drivable and on the road within a reasonable amount of time. I don't want to have this car hanging up here for years and, you know, meticulously going over every little nut and bolt and piece of metal. And for me, the end product, even if it's not 100% perfect, I'm gonna love either way, and I'll be able to enjoy the thing. So I'm gonna just keep pushing. I'm not gonna get too caught up in every detail. Trust me, I spend a lot of time thinking about every detail, like getting this and that, and chrome this, and I wanna paint this, and do some stripes on this, and then if I get a big motor and maybe chrome everything out on the motor, put a big block in it, and get 4-speed, and I spend a lot of time doing that, but I just don't see that happening. So, but I appreciate everyone's comments. I appreciate you guys giving me some advice and some pointers and stuff like that. It gives me some things to think about. So don't stop leaving comments. I really appreciate the comments. It's just some things I can't do right now. So they're probably not going to get done because this project is happening right now. This project isn't going to be a 4 or 5 year project. It's going to be something I plan on getting done. I don't even really have a realistic date. I haven't really thought about that, but I don't know for sure how long it's going to take, but I don't plan on sitting on anything for too long. I plan on constantly rolling on this thing. So yeah, that's where we're at. Deep pockets. You know, people get all touchy with the built, not bought comments. A lot of people say you can never say that because you didn't build the car from scratch, you didn't engineer every nut and bolt, quarter panel and frame, and you bought parts and put them on your car. Well, I don't know. I might be knocking on the door of being able to say built, not bought. I don't know. Kind of creeping up on that, it looks like. It's nice to see everything laid out. Getting closer. So next I'm going to finish up the little trim pieces for the backs of those. Not going to get super crazy grinding on the welds on these since they're going to be the lower ones. It's not going to get super crazy making sure those are real perfect and smooth. I just want them to be really strong because they're going to take some abuse. Do the trim pieces on those, smooth those out, and then these are going to be ready for body work. So I'll be able to get those painted. I'm going to move on to my rear end, finish welding up the rear end reinforcement, and then I'm going to build some stands to set my frame up on, and then strip everything else off the frame and keep that reinforcement rolling. That's next. Reinforcing the whole thing all the way. I'm going to bed.